All right, good morning, good afternoon. We're going to be talking about the translation part of this assignment. When we're translating, remember we are just sliding an object up, down, right, left, and we are not changing the shape and or the size. So when we slide something to the right, just thinking about what's changing. If I go just to the right, say here, this point is 211. Well, what changed? Well, my x coordinate changed when I go to the right and to the left. Same with if I go to the left, my x coordinate is changing from -2 to -5. So I like a little cheat sheet. If I go to the right, I'm going to be changing my x, but I'm going to be adding to my x value. Same with if I go to the left, instead of add, I subtract from my x value. Okay, and then if I go up, think about this point here. If I just go from this point to this point, it's still 2, but up to 13. Well, what changed? My y value. So if I go up, I add to my y value. And if I go down, then I'm going to do the opposite of subtract from your y value. We're going to use this cheat sheet when doing the math. So we have our 4 points on our shape in our first quadrant, and our first direction, our first translation is to go right 15 and up 2. So you can do this 2 different ways. You can go from each point and count 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, up 2, 1, 2. Okay? Or you can do the math. It's going to be, until you get a hang of it, you might want to count and go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and up 2, 1, 2. So this point here is 10, 13. Okay? And then I could do that for all of them, but again, over 15 might get a little tedious to count out all those points. So instead, we are going to do it the math way, and this you have to show the math no matter what, and you have to show your math this way. But if you wanted to, you could check your work 2 different ways. Okay, so when it says right 15, we're going to be adding to the x value. So all of my x values, I'm going to write down all my points, and then I'm going to put plus 15 under all of my x's. And remember, my x is my first point, or my first number. So -11 is my x. And then when it says up 2, I'm going to go to my little cheat sheet.
Good afternoon, everyone. This announcement is for our student.
If we go up, we add to our y. So that's why I add that 2 to all my y's. So I have -11 and I have plus 15, so it becomes +4. 9 plus 2 is 11. -7 plus 15 is 8. 14 plus 2 is 16. -5 plus 15 is 10. 11 plus 2 is 13. -11 plus 15 is 5. 6 plus 2 is 8. Okay, and now instead of having to move this over 15 and up 2 on each one of them, which you can, but this is going to be a way to double check my work. And I'm going to go and I'm going to plot all my points. So 4, 11. So -11, this one here, over 15 and up 2, which also, this is the dot. If you have the volleyball, this dot is actually wrong. This dot should be here, because it's negative 11 and up to 9. We did that incorrectly. So over to 4 and up to 11, over to 8 and up to 16, over to 10 and up to 13, and over to 5 and up to 8. Okay, and then I would draw my shape. At this moment, I'm not worrying about drawing our shape. That will come in last because we can use, I can put the shape over it and kind of trace it. Okay, the next one is left 1, down 24. So if I say left, I'm going to subtract from the x. So these are my new points. I'm going to go ahead and from each one, because I'm going left 1, all of my x values I'm going to subtract 1 away from. And then it says down 24. So down means I'm going to subtract from my y value. So the y value, remember, this is my x and this is my y. So I'm going to subtract 24 from each of my y's, getting my new numbers. So 4 minus 1 is 3. 11 minus 24 is negative 13. Now, some people, when we're doing this math, might get messed up. And what I would say to that is, go to your graph. And I was at my 411 one. And say my answer here is a positive 13. And I accidentally messed up my math. So I'm going to go plot my new points. So this point here is my 411, and it's going to 3 and up to 13. Well, I would know because this is my first shape, right? And this shape is not going down 24 if I get up to 13. Okay, so I know that I'm wrong. And then I would want to double check. You can always use a calculator, or you could think negative 11. Erase that. If I go negative 11, or sorry, positive 11, if I go down or negative down 24, I'm going to be all the way down in this quadrant right here. Okay, so 3, negative 11, I'm going to plot my points. 3 down to negative 11. Oh, no, sorry. 3 down to negative 13. Okay, over 7 down to 8. 9 down to 11. And 4 to negative 16. Okay, and if you see my bottom 2 points here? That's these 2 points here. I'm going to think about this. This point to this point, I'm going to travel to the right 1 and down 3. This one I go to the right 1 and down 3. So this one should be to the right 1 and down 3. I mean, that's just a way to show that these are one object and they're translating and moving down. So if this one moves down, this one moves down. Okay, they're connected by imaginary lines which make up that volleyball. Okay, and then the last one, it asks us to go to the left 13. Last one is left 13, down 4. So left means subtract from the x, and down, subtract from the y. So subtract that 4 from the y value. So minus 13 minus 4 on all of my points, and then 3 minus 13 becomes negative 10. Negative 13 minus 4 goes even more negative, so negative 17. 7 minus 13, negative 6. Negative 8 minus 4, negative 12. And what I would do with these, to check, make sure that we're good with our negative. If I have a negative 8 and I'm subtracting or I'm going down 4, well, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm at negative. I started the wrong one. negative 8. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm at negative 12, which that would be our negative 12 point here. So check your math on your graph. Okay, that's the translation. And the next video should be up.